This video is going to help you a lot if you are booking a cruise in Ha Long Bay, Vietnam. We experienced so much confusion regarding booking a Vietnamese cruise, and I'm going to clear that all up for you right now. This is our experience on these Spirit cruises. So although this video is cruise specific, you can apply a lot of this to other cruise boats too. Enjoy! Spirit Cruises was kind enough to arrange a very comfortable transfer for us to take us to the harbour where the check-in for the cruise was. This area was located on a little island connected to the mainland via a bridge. Right from the onset, the Spirit people were really great. This gentleman was super kind. He greeted us right by our car, took our names and luggage and showed us to the Spirit lounge. He also spoke English very well. The Spirit lounge itself is not so much a lounge, it's more like a waiting area, something equivalent to an airport terminal, but it does give you a great opportunity for admiring the boats and building up the excitement even more. There is a shop at this lounge where you can buy some soft drinks, beers, snacks, hats, sunglasses, etc. We hung around this area for about 30, maybe 45 minutes. This area gets quite busy. People are waiting, other passengers are embarking or disembarking with their luggage. There's no in and out or on and off areas, so it does get quite a bit messy at times. That said, all of that excitement kind of took a nosedive when we ended up having to sit on the tender and wait for what felt like a very long time for the captain to get some documents and to finally join us on the tender. I think we waited maybe about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, but it felt very long since we were so excited to finally get to the Spirit boat. The staff did hand out some drinking water, which is quite nice, but it still felt like a truly unnecessary wait. Finally, to everybody's relief, the captain joined our boat and we were off. The voyage towards the main boat was quite interesting too. It was nice passing through the harbour and seeing so many other boats too, and eventually you get to these incredible limestone cliffs which were just beautiful, truly magnificent. Do yourself a favor and ask if you can sit on the front of the boat, in other words outside. It's a great place for photos and for videos. I sat out here for the whole trip up to the main boat, and later on some other guests joined me too. So I was getting like sunburned, so the staff here were kind enough to actually bring me one of these Vietnamese hats. It definitely does make a difference. Arriving at the boat was definitely a very special feeling. The crew were standing at the lobby of the boat and they were waving their Vietnamese flags. They all had big smiles. We really felt welcome. You board the boat on the lower deck from the back of the boat, and I was immediately impressed by the spaciousness of the lobby as well as how clean and neat everything looked. We were handed some cold towels and we were ushered to the middle deck to the front of the boat where the restaurant is. Now this is the part where the safety instructions were supposed to be read, but they skipped this part because of the delay leaving the harbour. Honestly, I don't think anybody noticed or even cared for that matter, because it was all smiles on board as we were greeted with a really great lunch. I don't think anybody expected food of this quality and so much of it. There are no sails on this boat. This was a point of disappointment for us because when we looked at pictures of the Spirit cruise boat online, it had sails, and that was about 90% of the reason why we chose this particular boat. We planned to capture epic pictures of us on the main deck at sunset with the sails in full force behind us, but that did not happen because there was not even any rigging for sails on this boat. Nonetheless, our disappointment did not last very long because everything else was so amazing that we did not really miss the sails or our epic photos very much. After lunch, we had time to settle into our rooms, but before I show you that, I want to give you an overview of what the boat looks like and where what is. We are going to zigzag our way through the boat, starting at the top front. There are some comfortable lounge-like seating up here. Behind that is the bridge, a restroom, and the bar. Alongside this area there are some tables and chairs. Then there's a large open area over here. Then just a few steps up takes you to this, my favorite part of the boat, where there are comfortable sunbeds, perfect for lazing in the evenings. This is the massage room, and on the opposite side is the staircase, which takes you from the upper deck to the middle deck and even down to the lower deck where the lobby is of the boat. But let's stay on the middle deck. Towards the back of the boat there are two rooms. These are the executive suites. The one you see here is room 202 and we were in room 201 on the other side of the boat. Towards the front of the boat you pass by 6 rooms, 3 on either side, and eventually you get to the dining room, which is where you will eat all of your meals. Just outside the dining room on the front there's also a table with 2 chairs, also a nice place to sit. There is a staircase here which takes you back up to the upper deck, as well as another staircase which takes you down to the lower deck. Let's go down there now. This is where the anchor is housed, but you are allowed to walk around there and go right to the tip of the boat and do the whole Titanic thing. Going back into the boat again, there's a door right over here which takes you through the bottom corridor past 10 rooms, 5 on either side, and then you get to the lobby and eventually to this area which is the outside of the boat where you board and disembark. I have another video where I actually did a literal walkthrough of the entire boat. You can see that video by clicking on the link in the description below. This is room 201, which is located right next to the main staircase coming from the lobby. We were very surprised by the space of this room. It really is as big as it looks on the pictures on the website. The bed was very comfortable and we absolutely loved these big windows. It was a great view from wherever you are in our suite. We had life jackets, a stock bar fridge, not complimentary, and a large safe big enough for our laptops, tea coffee facilities, as well as a nice workspace. And this was my second favorite spot on the boat. We had 2 deck chairs, a table, and even a sofa. Our balcony was large and easy to move around. One of the 2 main reasons why we chose this room is because the roof above us protected us from the sun and from rain. Plus we had this great view. We pretty much had about a 240-degree view towards the side, front and back of the boat. When not in use, our tender was towed behind our boat, which did not take anything from our experience on our balcony. In fact, it might have just even added to the experience. Next up, I want to show you our bathroom. This is how we found our bathroom when we checked in, with the blinds half closed. And as you can see, even this way it offers a lot of privacy. In our bathroom we had a toilet, a basin, a spa bath and a shower. The bathtub does take a while to fill up, so be aware of that. Our shower was much better than what we expected. We really enjoyed that. One of our bathroom blinds was stuck, but once we got maintenance to repair that for us, we opened up everything and the bathroom felt even larger. I truly enjoyed doing number 2s here because the view from the toilet was absolutely amazing. After settling in, we boarded our tender for our very first activity. After a scenic and relatively short trip, we got to this place. This is where tenders from various other boats drop off their passengers to enjoy the bright dark cave. You are given a choice to either use a kayak or a traditional Vietnamese rowing boat. But first we got some beers from the local floating platform shop. They actually were not expensive. We chose the Vietnamese rowboat because this is the only opportunity that we would have to experience this. As for kayaking, that we could do on the next day. The other 3 people on our boat were super nice and they spoke Spanish, so we picked up a few words. Salud! In addition to actually rowing our boat, other services included were taking pictures of us and, well, you're gonna have to wait for this one. And this is the bright dark cave. Not quite what I was expecting, nonetheless it was cool. And here is the oarsman's other service. Yeah, he actually sings in the cave and his voice echoes and bounces off the walls. Back at the platform, we rejoined our tender and headed back to the V-Spirit cruise boat. Upon arriving back at our boat, we seized the opportunity to have our first official swim in Halong Bay, Vietnam. We enjoyed the lukewarm water under the watchful eye of the crew, and they handed us towels as we got out. Back in our suite after a nice shower, we realized that we are able to do shopping from these little boats which come by the big boat. They had various things like snacks, chips, wine and beer. When I'm back home in my studio editing videos, it is moments like these which make me smile. Obviously the focus here is the fact that we can buy beer from these little boats, but just take a moment and check out the background. It's insane how beautiful it is. We headed upstairs to the upper deck to marvel at the sunset. Something else I really liked about our boat is the fact that it does not feel crowded. There is plenty of seating for everybody and you do not have to worry about getting a good view. Doesn't matter where you are on the boat, you will have a great view. See all the boats in the distance? This is something which I was concerned about because I was told that there are so many boats and it's quite crowded. But it is eerily quiet. There is no noise, no music coming from any other boats. It is extremely peaceful. This was the happy hour time. I think it was buy 2 cocktails, get 3. There were also limited complimentary snacks on offer. Next on the agenda was the cooking demonstration, which was repeated again on the second night. It's not so much cooking, they show you how to roll your own spring rolls. It was not terribly exciting, but it was a bit interesting and a bit of fun, plus we got to eat our creations afterwards. We got dressed for dinner and made our way to the dining room. There is no dress code as such, but everybody did seem to make a bit of an effort getting dressed for dinner, which was quite nice. The staff were great, they really took care of us very well and made everybody feel super special. We were handed menus and we were under the impression that we had to choose between the main options. Turns out that everything is included. It is a 6-course set menu. The food was warm, delicious, and I was really impressed by how well it was plated and garnished. I was not expecting this level of service from a little kitchen on a boat like this. I think we were all surprised when they turned off the lights, and then came the surprise. Vodka prawns. Maybe slightly dangerous given the fact that we are under a wooden ceiling with big flames and a lot of steam, but nonetheless it was great fun. Turns out that was not the only surprise for the evening.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We wound down the evening by trying our luck at fishing. I think in the 2 nights that we were there, nobody caught anything. But again, it was a nice experience. It is day 2 of the cruise and we had a comfortable sleep. We headed up the stairs to the upper deck where we joined the Tai Chi class. Not quite my thing and way too early for me. But for this view, why not? Next up on our agenda was a light breakfast, which was pretty decent. They had eggs, there was also some pastries, and we had fruit juices. They had coffee, but the coffee was not hot. It was quite disappointing actually, because so far everywhere else in Vietnam the coffee has been great up until this point. It was time for our day 2 activity. This boat came to pick us up from the V-Spirit cruise boat. Try to head to the shaded area on the top deck as soon as you board the boat. We were not the first passengers to be picked up by the boat, so when we got to the shaded area, it was all taken. We headed downstairs rather because we did not feel like sitting in the sun the whole time, and we sat inside with some fans blowing on us, and it was quite cool because we were able to still enjoy the view. Everything was great. There is a bar on board, but watch out for the fruit juices. They were hugely overpriced. There was also a really decent bathroom on board, which was nice and clean. The voyage to Cat Ba Island took quite a while, but it was a pleasant trip. The onboard tour guide pointed out some interesting limestone cliff formations along the way. And as we turned the corner to go to Cat Ba Island, it kind of felt like I was on the set of Vikings at Kattegat. Once on the island, you are given a choice to either go cycling or use an electric buggy. We opted for the cycling, which was really awesome.
It doesn't really matter who's wrong or right. I'm still gonna squeeze you tight with all my might. Sugar ring, I'm pouring down the lane, my flight. That's okay, that's alright. So long as I can be with you, I feel so high. And I can't seem to shake it and I don't know why. You got me.
We eventually arrived at the village where there was a fish food spa. We have these in Thailand too, but I think that the fish here on Cat Ba Island were a lot hungrier. Following this, there was a talk about Cat Ba and its history, which was interesting at times.
More life.
We were then taken across the road to have a look at old traditional Cat Ba houses, which was just okay. Honestly, out of all of our time spent here on Cat Ba Island, I think that the cycling was the most fun. Going back to the boat, you have the option to leave your bicycle behind and take the buggy instead, which we did, just to have a different experience. Back at the boat, I think everybody was surprised to find that the lower deck was set up for lunch with beautifully set tables. We were handed cold towels and then the lunch was served. And served and served. The food just kept on coming. We had this truly wonderful meal while the boat took us from Cat Ba Island to our next stop, which was kayaking through a cave. After the kayaking, next up on the agenda was swimming at a beach. This is the beach. It is basically one of the many limestone cliffs popping up out of the water with a little beach attached to it. Our boat could not go right up to the beach and we had no tender, so we had to jump into the water and swim to the beach, which in itself was quite a nice experience. I think we spent about 20 minutes here before it was time to set sail back to our V Spirit cruise boat. Arriving back at our boat, we were greeted with a friendly smile, cold towels and welcome drinks. One of our fellow passengers generously offered for me to film and show you their cabins so you can see what the typical standard cabins look like. Some of these cabins, the bed face forward and some the bed face sideways, but the amount of space is the same in all of these cabins. And as you can see from the balcony, it's a relatively small balcony, so I don't think you'll have shelter there from the sun or from the rain all of the time. compared to our balcony, which definitely has a lot more space and definitely will provide shelter from the rain and sun any time of the day. Also, there on my left hand side, that is a glass window. It is not an opening, and that further gives you more protection against possible rain. After we freshened up in our bathroom, it was time to head upstairs and enjoy the sunset and the evening activities. We also found that this was a really good time to mingle with other guests and make some new friends.
Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. I know man, passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive.
We ended off our evening with a wonderful dinner, which for some reason I did not film. The next morning we started our day with pretty much the same light breakfast as the previous day. Following the breakfast, we had some time to go kayaking straight from our boat. There were some cool cliffs to explore around our boat. We also had some time to jump into the ocean one last time. This is one of our guides here on the boat. This is Jimmy, a really funny character, awesome guy. Looks handsome too.
Yeah, how are you, Jimmy?
Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy. I'm a tour guide on the British Cruise Company, and today I'm very happy to have a two-man. They come here, they bring for me the new thing because I will be follow and I will be subscribe this channel. Thank you so much.
And you can come visit us in Bangkok, okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
okay. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah,
thank you. I simply had to introduce Jimmy to you. He definitely added value to our trip. At this point, it was time to settle our bill and sit down for brunch, which was a set menu consisting of an amuse-bouche, soup, various appetizers, a main, as well as dessert. It was a sad affair saying goodbye to the crew whom we've really become very fond of. The voyage back to the harbour was a bittersweet time as our hearts wrestled between the fond memories of the V-Spirit experience and the excitement of what's to come. I do hope that I was able to give you a good insight as to life on board, as well as clear up some of the questions which you might have had. If so, please help me out by clicking that subscribe button and turning on notifications so that you will be notified of future videos. Also click like, share and leave me a comment. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me in the comments. See you next time.